Hey, do you know that private madhouse? I heard it's around here, but I'd really like to go see it.
Oh, that's the Monsieur Millard's. I know where it is, but I'd rather not go there.
Oh, I really want to go see it.
Well, fine. I'll show you where it is, but I'm not going in with you. Oh, here it is.
Wow, it looks uninhabited.
Yeah, I know. Come on. To see a tour of place.
Oh, okay, I'll show him around.
Alright, well, I'll go now.
Okay,
Bye.
Come, I'll show you. I'll get us some food and you can just sit down here in the foyer. There you go. I'll go grab some food.
Oh, hi.
Hey, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Is this how you spend your day, playing the piano?
Yeah, very much. It's quite pleasing, actually. It's a nice way to enjoy life.
Yeah, it seemed pretty nice.
Thanks. It's called doubles.
Doubles?
Yeah.
Okay, I brought the food. Are you ready to eat? Oh, no, that's my niece. She's perfectly sane.
Oh, pardon me for my suspicion. Under the knowledge that patients are able to run freely.
Oh, under my former system.
Wait, your former system? I mean, you don't use it anymore?
No, not for several weeks now. I'm sorry you couldn't have been here in time to see it.
Well, I did get to hear a bit of it from my travels in Paris.
Ah, yes. Under the soothing system, we let our patients roam freely.
Wow, have you ever had to confine a patient?
Very rarely. Only if they become violent and fear that they would hurt or infect any of the other patients. If they became too out of hand, then we would just send them to the public hospitals.
So what system do you use now?
Oh, one of my own invention.
One of your own inventions?
Yes, I'm very proud of it. I can't show you the patients just yet, but why don't we go ahead and have dinner first so as not to spoil your appetite. James, bring the food! Your food, sir?
I'll have some of the other. I'll take it though, I'll just have the ham.
Very well.
Did you know there was a man here who fancied himself a teapot? Every morning, he would polish himself a new coat. Also, there was a man who thought he was a donkey. He adored thistles. He would always eat them. Also, if you surprised him,
You did not. Behave yourself. You're behaving like a donkey just like he did.
I apologize. I did not mean to be rude. I'm sorry. Also, there was a man who fancied himself cheese. He would always go around and offer a slice of his thigh to everyone. And also, there was a man who thought he was a frog. I wish you could have seen him. He would always go, wah, wah, wah.
Well, I bet.
And also, there was a man who thought he was a pumpkin. He would go to the chef and request to be made into a pie. But of course, the chef would not comply. So the man would go around being acting all crazy to everybody.
That's astonishing.
There's this one lady who thought she was a chicken, and she would always go like this.
Joyous, I would thank you to contain yourself. You either act like a woman or you leave.
Oh, Madame Joyce was such a fool. She was such a beautiful, yet painfully modest young lady who always had the ordinary sense of indecency. She would always try to get outside clothes instead of inside clothes. It was quite an easy feat, however. I mean, it was just so, and then,
Oh god. Hold!
What are you about? Forbear, this is sufficient. We see how plainly this is done.
We are used to these things and care really very little about them. The lunatics every now and then get up a howl in concert, one starting another, as is sometimes the case with a bevy of dogs at night. It occasionally happens, however, that the concerto yells are succeeded by a simultaneous effort of breaking loose, when of course some little danger is to be apprehended.
Principally females, I guess?
It is generally so, but not always. Some time ago, there were about 27 patients here, and of that number, no less than 18 were women. But lately, matters have changed very much, as you can see.
Yes, have changed very much as you see.
Yes, have changed very much as you see.
Hold your tongues, every one of you!
This gentleman, the woman who just spoke, who hears the daily deal, she, I presume, is harmless. Quite harmless, eh?
Harmless? What can you mean?
Only slightly touched? Take it for granted that she's not particularly dangerously affected, is she?
Mon Dieu, what is it you imagine? This lady, my particular old friend, Madame Joyeuse, is an absolutely sane as myself. She has her little eccentricities, to be sure, but then, you know, all old women, all very old women, are more or less eccentric.
To be sure. To be sure. And the rest of the ladies and gentlemen
are my friends and keepers. My very good friends and keepers.
What? All of them? Women and all?
Assuredly, we cannot do it all without the women. They are the best lunatic nurses in the world. They have a way of their own, you know. Their bright eyes have a marvelous effect, something like the fascination of the snake, you know.
To be sure. To be sure. They behave a little odd, eh? They're all a little queer, eh? Don't you think so?
Ah, queer, why do you really think so? We are not very prudish, to be sure. Here in the South, do pretty much as we please, enjoy life, and all that sort of thing, you know?
To be sure. To be sure.
And then perhaps this clause de vagat is a little heady, you know? A little strong, you understand, eh?
To be sure. To be sure. By the by, Monsieur, I did understand you to say that the system you have adopted in a place that celebrates pseudo system was one of a very vigorously severity.
By no means. Our confinement is necessarily close, but the treatment, the medical treatment, I mean, is rather agreeable to the patients than otherwise.
And the new system is one of your own invention?
Not altogether. Some portions of it are referable to Professor Tarr, of whom you have necessarily heard. And again, there are modifications in my plan which I am happy to acknowledge as belonging of right to the celebrated Fether, which whom, if I mistake not, you have the honor of with an intimate acquaintance.
I am quite ashamed to confess that I have never, ever even heard the names of the gentlemen before.
Good heavens! I surely do not hear you aright. Did you not intend to say, that you have never heard either of the learned Dr. Tarr or the celebrated Professor Fether?
I am forced to acknowledge my ignorance, but the truth should be held inviolate above all things. Nevertheless, I feel humbled to the dust not to be acquainted with the worst of these. No doubt, extraordinary men. I will seek out the writings forthwith, and peruse them with clever care. Monsieur Millard, you have really, I must confess, you have really made me ashamed of myself.
Say no more, my good young friend.
The soothing system, with important modifications, has been resumed at the chateau. Yet I cannot help agreeing with Monsieur Millard that his own treatment was very capital, one of its kind. As he just briefly observed, it was simple, neat, and gave no trouble at all, not the least. I only have to add that although I searched every library in Europe for the works of Dr. Tarr and Professor Fether, I have, up to this present day, utterly failed in my endeavors to procure an edition.